times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. We are in the final stages in the destruction of the empire of America. And once you are able to stand back and appreciate the magnitude and the complete totalitarian coverage that they've provided for this reset. They didn't do anything that was new. As a matter of fact, they just merely used a tactic that evidently, according to historical teachings, is just the way that human society seems to go. From the Egyptians to now America, through the Greeks, the Romans, those societies were built by strong men and grounded in a sense of cohesion. All of these things were based in a spiritual morality. And there were rules, there was a structure. Times were hard. And instead of infighting, celebrating, partying, and destroying one another, you had to be a unit. You had to be together. And there had to be a singular purpose. Otherwise, you'd be overtaken by the barbarians. And so this is how empires are built. Strong men leading women, and a culture they build. But inevitably, it seems to be, human nature is to become hedonistic, to become narcissistic, to become self-destructive, confused, and then ultimately destroyed. In America today, it's really hard to deny that there is some extreme fuckery going around, and the things that are being forced upon us, it's not good. None of it is good. Forcing people to buy into an invisible monster that continuously changes forms, alienating one another from each other, from our families, having us drop our elderly off into these what seem to be death camps, only to be stamped death from this China virus. All of this, coupled with the fuckery going on with the election, what we are witnessing is the dismantling of our empire. And when you are able to pull yourself back and look at how it was accomplished the same way the fall of man was accomplished by the snake in the Garden of Eden. Now, the reason why I entered into this space on YouTube and started making videos and sharing my viewpoint and my stance on this is because for the duration of my life, I've felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. What was going on in my life wasn't supposed to be what it was. So I observed things, and I analyzed them and picked them apart, and I looked at the contrasting overlay. What was the other side of what I was dealing with? And so I've watched things unfold in this country, and even though I've tried very hard to deny what I was seeing, the words that have been written in pretty much every spiritual text has led us to this point. And historically, all empires that were once great and seemed almighty all reached this point. And what is this point? I wish I had an answer that was all encompassing to where I could say, this is what happened. This was the turning point. But when you look at all of the different ways, the different tentacles that are attached to this monster that is destroying our country, it has been a slow, systematic march to the end of this empire. But what they did, the way that it was done, and the way that it's being expedited today, was with the empowerment movement. It was with the flipping upside down of the natural order of things. When the powers that be needed to subvert the family, detach men from their ideology, whatever spiritual grounding they had, they used the same weapon that Satan used in the Garden of Eden, and that was the woman. What we see today, what we're witnessing today, and what many of us have been complicit in promoting today is the invasion of our culture of many evil spirits that have been documented. The Lilith, the Jezebel, the Delilah. Each three of these spirits, they're all sexual in nature. They're all personified more beautifully through women because of what women are, because of what women are to us, because of what women were supposed to be. And the powers that be, the powers that are in control, the powers that these spirits report to, they know exactly what to do. They know exactly what man's weakness is. It's the same weakness that it's always been. It's been the woman. And today in our culture, what we see with the WAP community, with the Instagram whores, single motherhood being promoted, men being dogged at all angles, men promoting other men and boys to wear dresses, celebrities having their young children get sex change operations. We're living in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, as in the days of Noah. So will be the end times, and that's where we're at. You don't have to be a Bible thumper. You don't have to be a religious zealot. All you have to be is not a fucking idiot to look around and see that there's something fucking wrong. Men have been destroyed, demoralized, made more and more effeminate, weak, while we vault women up to the forefront, making them believe that they can do anything that men can do and they can do it better. Beating men into submission, passing legislation to further make men weak, unavailable, unable to do anything about what's done with our children. Men have no real rights when it comes to family court, family law. All we have been relegated to is just a fuel source for narcissists. And now, in today's culture, we're crashing. The reset is going to be designed to put the clamps on, destroy men, and make you into a real slave. You can deny this, you can ignore it, you can put your head back in the sand and continue to chase liabilities. Or you can look around and pull your head out of your ass and realize that what you've been doing, what you've been hypnotized into wanting, with all the sexual advertisement, all of the sexualization, and taking the collar off, the chain, and letting women go weapons hot with their sexuality, all of the fracture of sexual norms, making the confusion about gender. All of these things are only Trojan horses meant to make men weak, vault women up. So when it's time for the takedown, there's nobody left to fight. Right now, there's a really common theme that the movement likes to say, and they're telling the weaker sex that they are the table. Well, men, we know by now, from all of the heartache and all of the deception and all of the outright fucking lies that have been exposed by some of the most innocent and unthreatening women, we already know that the gamble is just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So it's time now for men in this country, especially, to change the paradigm. MGTOW, black pill, whatever you want to call it, it's time to walk away from the table. It's time to walk away. It's time to walk away and stop putting value in worthless things. And if you're honest, if you knew the facts, if you knew the details, the truth of the matter is probably better than 90% of the women that you have access to are absolute trash. Absolute trash. Regardless of what society would like to shame you into feeling, it's natural for you to be repulsed by a woman who's got a high body count. It's natural for you to be repulsed to watch a woman try to act like a cool chick, because you know what that means. She's just emulating her favorite dudes who have run through her. There's no glory in running through a bunch of women. At one point in time, even though I wouldn't consider it to be a healthy thing. At one point in time, for a man to be able to do that meant that the man had some sort of value. Today, it just means he has a phone. It's too easy. It's too easy because it's worthless, and they know it. But we haven't figured out that yet. So men continue to buy into this bullshit, getting destroyed and finding themselves coming to red pill, MGTOW, black pill, manosphere content to try to find out what the fuck happened. Now, generally I tell men, just use common sense, pay attention. But what I say now, going into 2021, we're headed for uncertain times, no matter what this Hollywood production of an election turns out. Either way it goes, 2021 is going to be a bad fucking year for our country. There is no upside to this. If they steal this election, what they usher into this country will make Germany look like fun. If they give it to the man who seemingly should have won the election, the crybabies are going to lose their fucking mind. Either way it goes, men, America's done. America's done as we know it. Now, who are you going to be going into this next rollout? Are you going to be one of the dummies that follow along the social narrative, allow the feminine movement to push you in line and make you be a good boy? Go along with the program for the greater good? Because by now you need to know that sustainable and all of these magic words that they use, all of these diversity, all of these words are just code words for fuck you. All of these things, the Green New Deal, all of these things are going to be used against you. The movement needs to be men in this country realizing that we don't come from weak, cowardly men. We don't descend from cowards. The men who fought the same powers that we're faced today, the men who made this country, no matter what the fuck happened here, a lot of bad shit happened, but America kicks ass, man. This is the best fucking place to be. We need to remember that we don't come from bitch-made dudes, and we need to rise up. We need to rise up, wake up, walk away from this fucking table, and make America manly, masculine, alpha again. America needs to be what we used to be. We need to honor what we said we were supposed to be. We have a time right now where they're trying to rewrite everything. we sit back and let them write the script for us, then we deserve exactly what the fuck they come down the pipe with us. But if you're a real fucking man, you gotta look at what's going on. Drop the divisiveness. Drop the tactics that are being used to make us separate and fight with one another. Realize that they're using women against us because it's not men doing this. This is powers way bigger than us. The first thing that men need to do is walk away from the table, get on your knees, and pray to whoever, whatever it is that you believe in. And if you don't believe in anything, then you have a lot of other different problems. It's time to wake up, men. Grab your cards, walk away from the table, find strong men, and get ready for the fight, because it's coming. Out.